Okay, hey, so this is my video for the top selling song or single of all time. I'm really glad I get a chance to do this because this is really interesting. What makes a song the top selling song of all time? To pick a top selling song is a really big deal. Songs can be really addictive. When songs come out, they can be kind of all over the place. They can be all over the radio or everywhere you go, ads, on the TV, or in movies. And you can kind of get some songs stuck in your head. You might go a whole day, you might have that same song going on over and over in your head. And everybody knows somebody who's had like this song stuck in their head. But it's kind of relative because in a short period of time you might forget about that song, like in a few days or something. But what makes a song last more than that? What makes a song last like 50 years and become, say, the top selling song of all time? Well, the last songs can't be forgotten. Even the biggest songs you might hear now from like Ariana Grande or Lady Gaga, they're probably going to be forgotten in a few years from now. It's not hard to forget songs. Something else will come along pretty quickly and it can take its place, and that's it. So how do songs survive? They got to keep being replayed over and over again. Someone's got to keep bringing them back year after year, and they got to kind of have this huge emotional feeling that kind of pulls you in, or this holiday feeling, and that's what you're going to see is that the top selling song of all time, drum roll please, is White Christmas by Bing Crosby. Is the top selling song of all time with 50 million in sales. This was before we had the music charts that we have today. But the song actually has the Guinness World Record for the top selling song of all time too. The song actually wasn't written by Bing Crosby. It was written by the legendary songwriter Irving Berlin, who actually lived to be 101 years old. And Berlin's one of the most famous American composers in history. There's this other composer, George Gershwin, who's a really famous composer, and he called him the greatest songwriter that's ever lived. And there was another composer, Jerome Kern, and he said that Irving Berlin has no place in American music. He is American music. So those are pretty big endorsements. He's written over 400 hits, with hits like Easter Parade, No Business Like Show Business, and even God Bless America. There's no doubt though that White Christmas is his top song, especially with its association with Christmas, and it's kind of replayed every year in the winter time during the holiday season. Berlin too was a Russian and Jewish immigrant who actually couldn't read or write, but he was still able to make songs. And there's actually this book about this song White Christmas, and it's called White Christmas: The Story of an American Song. And you know it's an important song when there's a book written about it. So to make this song, what did he do? What happened? There's a few reports about it. Nobody knows for sure, but most of them are saying that he wrote the song sometime before 1940, and then he put it, which is like over 7 years ago, and then he put it away for later use. And then he kind of pulled it out. When he got this job to write a new Bing Crosby movie, that's when he thought he'd put it in that. And he finished the song for 1940. The movie came out in 1942. And the Los Angeles Mirror actually said that he might have wrote it in like August 1938. Berlin's daughter says that she wasn't sure like when he wrote it or how he wrote it, but she thought he wrote it in 1938 or 1939. Maybe in Arizona or New York or both places. And a lot of people say that he wrote it over the Christmas of 1937 when he was away from his family for the first time, working on a movie in Beverly Hills. That movie was called like Alexander's Ragtime Band, and that account makes sense. So when he pulled out this song, and he came back to the office in 1940, and he seemed pretty confident about it. So he came into these publishing offices, and he kind of told the secretary, "I just written this new song. Not only is this the best song I've ever written, it's the best song anybody's ever written." And that was interesting because later on, he doesn't seem as confident about it being that great of a song. But here, he was very confident. Then, like, after he was done polishing the lyrics, he kind of wanted to go to Bing Crosby and see what he thought about the song. So he went to see Bing Crosby, and it wasn't just this song. It was all the songs he did for the movie. He wanted to check with Bing Crosby first to talk about them. And he went to Bing Crosby's dressing room. He was really nervous. And he said he was as nervous as like a rabbit smelling stew. So he went in there. He sang a few songs. Bing kind of sat there and he was like quiet and just nodding. And until like he got to this song, The White Christmas, and Bing told him that he wouldn't have to worry about it. And that was a good sign for the song. And it's kind of what happened was they didn't think that The White Christmas was going to be the biggest song of the movie, though. But it turned out that people really liked it, and it had this peaceful message to it, and it became like this huge success. Berlin himself was actually pushing another song as the hit for the movie called "Be Careful It's My Heart" for Valentine's Day. He thought that would be the biggest song of the movie, but it was White Christmas that was the biggest song of the movie. And he said he didn't expect White Christmas to be that popular, mainly because he thought it was too easy for him to write. He kind of wrote it in like 2 really quick sessions. Thought it was way too fast for a song to write that quick. And he didn't put that much work into it. So a lot of songs can take a huge amount of work. But anyway, they published the song, and for the first time, it finally came on the radio during the Christmas of 1941. And Bing Crosby sang it live on his radio show, and it kind of blew up from there. That was 18 days after Pearl Harbor when that happened. Then they went to record the song, and Bing actually recorded it on May 29, 1942. And it was just 18 minutes that it took him to record this song. In August, the Holiday Inn movie came out, and it was a huge hit. White Christmas was in it, and it took off, and it got up to number 1 on the charts in October 1942. And these were like the music charts at that time, which was the national list of best-selling retail records chart. And it stayed up there for 11 weeks, and then the song was really popular with the armed forces too. In 1942, that was the first winter the soldiers in the war couldn't be home for Christmas, and the song kind of gave them this consolation and comfort when they wished they could be home with their families and they couldn't. And the song was played a lot on the Armed Forces radio. And Bing Crosby actually went to sing the song to the soldiers in Europe. He said they wanted it, they demanded it, and when he sang, they'd all cry. He said it's poignant and nostalgic and has this feeling to it. And with all these young people away at the time, especially at that time, at that certain time of year, it really touched them. And as for the success behind the song, like, it's hard to say exactly what drove it to become the top-selling song of all time. To be that big, it's got to appeal to a lot of different types of people. A lot of people take part in Christmas every year in the U.S., whether you're a grown-up or a kid or a guy or a girl, it doesn't matter. So that's a huge demographic. Most importantly, the song isn't a happy or sad song. Kind of strikes this perfect balance between the two. You don't have to be in a certain mood to listen to it. Feels like there's kind of an experience where there's Christmas every year. The time comes, a lot of the time we might not be in this happy or sad mood, but this song just kind of hits you as a song to kind of acknowledge that it's Christmas time again. But then too, at the time when the song came out, we had the war happening, and this song was kind of like this medication to the soldiers who couldn't be home for Christmas. And Berlin actually thinks that's why the song became a hit, because of the war, and that Christmas brings this message of peace, and this song thrived because of it. Berlin himself didn't actually celebrate Christmas because he was Russian and a Jewish immigrant, but it was a really special, kind of sad day to him. He lost a son at just 3 weeks old on December 25th in 1928. So actually on Christmas Day, he'd spend the day visiting his son's grave. Some say that could have been what's behind the greatness of the song, and maybe he's expressing himself within the fabric of the White Christmas song. Maybe he put away the song to use it like a later time because he knew it was so special. Like with people, we could sometimes feel like these certain complexities like behind a song, but sometimes maybe we can't understand exactly what they are or put them into words. Maybe somehow he's been able to put this feeling into the song. We can feel it. That's why it's sticking to us all the way through all these years. And just some quick facts, like there's some interesting things with this song. Like there's a lot of different singers that have come out and tried to sing this song. They tried to sing it to be the best singer on the song. Bing Crosby's version is still the main version though, and it's his song. And Berlin actually wrote the song in California, is what they're saying. He wanted to kind of make fun of the place for not getting any snow with this special line that says something about this a sunny Christmas day, but he kind of cut that out to take some of the fun out of the song, because he wanted to start off like with that kind of sad, melancholious White Christmas, and by doing that, it kind of made the song better and like as successful as it is now. The song itself actually led to another movie. A movie that's called White Christmas, has the same name as the song. That came out in 1954 and was the top-selling movie of the year. And then there was a modern version too of White Christmas that we actually use now. It's not the one, the version that we're using, it's not the one from 1942. Apparently that tape from 1942 got like damaged or something, and because it was like used so much, then Crosby actually had to go and he had to head back to the studio a few years later, March 19th in 1947, to record the White Christmas again. He got the original singers in there too, the Ken Darby singers, and then the orchestra, which was called this Scott Trotter Orchestra. The original tape still kind of, you can find it and circulating with like 3 other versions from him, and that's with like this 1998 reproduction that brought out these versions of the song. And just to finish off, White Christmas actually won the Academy Award for Best Song in 1942, the 14th Academy Awards. And just to finish off, like completely, there's a lot more behind songs than you think. I was surprised to find out this much about this song. I thought it would be pretty simple to find out certain things about the song, like what's behind the song, how it got made, this and that. But it turned out there was a lot of background, especially the special meaning with Irving Berlin and how different he has his Christmas Day compared to everyone else. Like what the special meaning of Christmas Day to him is what I'm trying to say. That was really hard to find. Not many places kind of talked about that. So there's things here that you won't find anywhere else, and you really, it was a interesting thing. Okay, so that's it for White Christmas. Check out my other videos and subscribe.